everybody. Tonight I'm going to do an update not on this fan, but on an air conditioner people have been asking me about from time to time. This is the 5000 BTU Emerson Quiet Cool Super 5. Those of you who have seen me, I have done a mild restoration on this unit, you know, in the winter, and I had decided to test drive it for a while in my bedroom. This is its final resting place is in this office, which is it's a decent sized room. I would say it's maybe 10 by 12. It's not massive, but decent size. The bedroom I have that I sleep in is considerably larger, and I knew that this was not going to be enough cooling power for that size room, but I figured I'd give it a try in there. What I ended up learning was that it started making this awful rattle noise, which as the fan motor would warm up got worse, and it was rattling, and it was for a while it was coming and going, and then it became consistent. It got to a point where it was really unbearable, and I just didn't know for the life of me what it was. I would take the fan blade off the motor and the noise went away, yet it wasn't the fan blade. So what I ended up discovering was that inside the motor, even though the motor had been lubricated from the oilers, the actual wicks inside were dry. The oilers had gotten a little plugged up, and inside the motor there's a series of thrust washers on either end of the armature, and the thrust washers are of fiber and stainless steel, and it is a mixture. Well, the stainless steel washer is sort of like sandwiched on either end of the shaft, and then there's these like cardboard like sleeves that go over the shaft to put the washers in the right position. Well, at the end of the sleeve there was a stainless steel washer, and I guess from lack of lubrication the washer cut a groove into the shaft of the motor on the end of the fan blade. So with the fan blade in place, the shaft of the motor would reposition itself due to the load of the fan blade, and then this whole thing would start chattering. So what I had to do was use some rouge and polish the shafts of the motor really well to try to minimize that groove. And then I used one of the old fiber thrust washers from the opposite end of the motor and shimmed out that sleeve to get away from that groove. And that's pretty much fixed it. I can still hear a faint sound of that rattle from time to time, but it's pretty livable now. So I have it in the room here. I'm going to turn it on fan only first so you can hear the fan, and then we'll go through the cooling. There's still a little wishiness to the motor, but the rattle is gone, which was the important issue. It's still feeling faint little clicks of it, but it pretty much is gone. Now, when I turn this on Quiet Cool, you're going to hear a weird buzz coming out from the air unit, and it's not from this. It's an electrical issue in this room. Put long story short, there's a bad neutral wire on the circuit that this unit is plugged into, so somebody decided to use wire mold. You can kind of see on top of the baseboard here, and it's going to the other outlet in the room to get the neutral. I suspect that the wire inside the wire mold might have a strand hitting ground, and when you turn it on, the momentary increase in voltage causes a buzz through the wire mold, so it does need to be tended to, but hasn't caused any other issues other than the momentary buzz. So I'm going to turn it on now. So get the tank on. Now, one thing I will say about this particular unit, I know Bamberg's got a 10,000 BTU version of this chassis. That has a squirrel cage fan blade in it. This one does not. This has an aluminum fan blade, and it has very low air movement. I mean, this is like the most gentle breeze you could think of coming out of this thing on low. Anyways. Pretty cold, and it really has, I don't think it's still built full head pressure. But it does blow out a nice, gentle, cool breeze. And I'm going to put it on super cool. This, I'm going to use this type of thermometer, dial thermometer in it, and it consistently gets, I would say, about 32 degrees with this thermometer in it, so it is blowing cold. You can kind of faintly hear that tick, tick, tick. That's the noise from the motor. It's very, very, very minimized from what it was before. Before it was making such a racket. So I think this is a little weird since it's in an office, it's not in a bedroom. And it does cool this room down. So, the other thing I experimented with in this window is repositioning my outside bracket so that I don't have to take it out in the spring and fall, because I usually take my units out and store them away. And the unit fits in the replacement windows area very well. You can see there. This is the way I like wall mounts to fit in the windows. I mean, nice clean fit. Got a screw on top just so that the window doesn't lift up. And the pitch is good, so I might remount the other two bedroom units if I can, so that they're mounted like this. It does give a very clean installation. I'll just hit it with the temp gun one more time. See. Oh, the other thing I'll point out too, these Emersons, you can see this in here. You can faintly see through those windows a little silver line. That's a pointer for the air direction. There are two little mini weather wheels inside there. This is such a gentle breeze. Now, the filter, I rebuilt it and I got new foam again. I think this is the foam I like the best. It's real thin. You can see through it. I bought this on eBay, and I started learning about it's like dots per inch, but it's not called dots per inch in foam. And you need to have it where it's a real number. The original filters were like this, and the replacement material they saw in the stores is too dense, so it restricts these units. So you need to have it where you can really see through the filter material like that. Restriction. For those of you who don't know, this style Emerson is a twice pass over the evaporator. So the evaporator is entirely cooled left to right. The air is taken in on the right side of the evaporator, cooled by the right side of the evaporator, goes through the duct inside and then comes out of the left side of the evaporator, which thereby cools the air twice through the evaporator. So it gives very cold air but very low airflow. So anyways, a little bit of a long-winded explanation of this, but I wanted to show it more or less in its final resting place. Quiet cool. Quiet cool is a nice speed for in here. You know, the super cool does move more air, but it seems rather noisy considering what little you're getting out of this. So, anyways, thanks for watching.